What if I told you a legendary king once locked away a chaotic force destined to return? This is the story of Dhul-Qarnayn and the terrifying tribes of Yajuj and Majuj. Welcome to Unleash Facts, the place where history's secrets, unsolved mysteries, and mind-blowing truths come to light. Deep in the annals of Abrahamic tradition lies a story of a righteous king, a monstrous horde, and an indestructible wall. For millennia, the tale of Dhul-Qarnayn and the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj has captivated scholars, theologians, and explorers. But who were these ancient tribes, and why does their legacy still echo today? The bloodline of chaos, Yajuj and Majuj's ancestry. In the heart of Islamic eschatology lies a chilling prophecy, a tale that takes us back to the very origins of humanity. Here, we meet none other than Noah, the man who survived the Great Flood, a patriarch whose lineage would shape the course of human history. His son, Japheth, a name that echoes through time, fathered a son named Magog. And it is from this bloodline that the enigmatic tribes of Yajuj and Majuj trace their ancestry. Picture this, a lineage stretching from the depths of primordial chaos to the darkest corners of human nature. As the Quran reveals in chapter 21, verse 96, and from the sons of Japheth, the son of Noah, came Magog, the ancestor of the tribe of Yajuj and Majuj. In Islamic texts, Yajuj and Majuj are not just mentioned once but twice, underscoring their significance in prophetic lore. They first appear in the Quran, where they are described as a cursed proliferation. And later, they surface in the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, where details of their destructive nature are amplified. Their numbers, according to Islamic eschatology, are as numerous as locusts, an image of biblical proportions, a swarm so vast it devours everything in its path. The Quran describes them as a corrupting influence spreading across the land, draining rivers, devouring crops, and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. It was a force of nature gone rogue, an unbridled torrent of human savagery threatening to engulf the civilized world. But the tribes weren't just a product of Islamic imagination. They find echoes in the biblical narrative too, known there as Gog and Magog. And as the book of Ezekiel vividly portrays them, they are a threat to all nations. So what set these tribes apart? What was it about them that inspired such dread in ancient societies? Perhaps it was their sheer numbers, their ability to amass an army so vast that it dwarfed any conventional fighting force. Or maybe it was their reputation for unhinged ferocity, a bloodlust that knew no bounds. Whatever the reason, the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj stand as potent symbols of humanity's most primal fears. Dhul-Qarnayn, the king who tamed the world. Now, let's shift our focus to the hero of this epic saga, Dhul-Qarnayn, a name that resonates with the echoes of forgotten empires. But who exactly was Dhul-Qarnayn? Islamic tradition offers tantalizing clues, painting a portrait of a legendary king whose identity remains shrouded in mystery. Some scholars believe he was the great Cyrus the Great, the Persian monarch who founded the Achaemenid Empire, renowned for his military prowess and progressive policies. Others see him in the legendary Alexander the Great, the Macedonian king whose empire stretched from Greece to India, known for his tactical brilliance and insatiable thirst for conquest. However, some argue that Dhul-Qarnayn might not be a historical figure at all, but rather a mythical archetype representing the forces of order and righteousness in the face of chaos. The Prophet Muhammad, the central figure of Islam, left behind a rich tapestry of teachings and narratives. Among these is the story of Dhul-Qarnayn, a tale preserved in hadith, which are the accounts of the Prophet's words and deeds. It is through these hadiths that we gain insight into the character of Dhul-Qarnayn and his monumental task. According to these narratives, Dhul-Qarnayn was a righteous king, a beacon of justice and piety in a turbulent world. He is described as someone who established order, protected the weak and championed the cause of the oppressed. In essence, he embodied the ideals of kingship, a ruler who not only commanded armies, but also safeguarded the sanctity of life. Dhul-Qarnayn's journey took him to the farthest reaches of his dominion, to the point where the sun began its final descent. This mysterious locale holds a significant place in Islamic eschatology. It is believed to be the place where the Antichrist will emerge, signifying the end of times. At this pivotal moment, Dhul-Qarnayn encountered a desperate people seeking his intervention. They were beset by the relentless attacks of the Yajuj and Majuj, and they implored Dhul-Qarnayn to save them from the brink of annihilation. The king's response was swift and resolute. Seizing the reins of power, he rallied his forces and set out on a perilous mission to confront the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj. Armed with unwavering determination, he rode forth across treacherous terrains, braving scorching deserts and scaling formidable mountains, driven by a singular purpose to quell the chaos engulfing the land. As he journeyed deeper into the heart of the maelstrom, the urgency of his mission pressed upon him. Each passing moment was a testament to the gravity of the threat posed by the tribes. Dhul-Qarnayn pressed onward, navigating through landscapes that seemed determined to test his resolve. But his spirit remained unbroken, his resolve hardening with each step closer to the source of the turmoil. Finally, he arrived at the edge of civilization, at the very threshold of the chaos that threatened to consume the world. Standing at this precipice, Dhul-Qarnayn was confronted with the full force of the chaos he had come to tame. Before him lay the hordes of Yajuj and Majuj, a seething mass of humanity personified as a storm of pure chaos, ready to be unleashed upon the world. The tribes, true to their menacing reputation, were a sight both terrifying and overwhelming. Their ranks stretched as far as the eye could see, a dense and intimidating multitude that seemed to devour the very landscape they inhabited. Their leader, a figure shrouded in darkness, surveyed the scene with eyes that burned with the fires of destruction. With a mere gesture, he could unleash this horde, plunging the world into eternal chaos. But Dhul-Qarnayn stood firm, his presence a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. He had come too far to turn back now. His every step had been a testament to his unwavering resolve, a silent vow to protect the innocent from the clutches of chaos. Now, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance, he prepared for the ultimate showdown, the confrontation that would determine the very course of history. Engineering the impossible, the Great Barrier. The impending clash between Dhul-Qarnayn and the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj serves as the backdrop for one of history's greatest mysteries, the construction of a barrier so monumental that it continues to captivate the minds of explorers and scholars even today. According to Islamic eschatology, when Dhul-Qarnayn confronted the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj, he found himself at a critical juncture. The hordes of Yajuj and Majuj were simply too vast to defeat in open battle. So instead of attempting a futile military victory, he opted for an ingenious solution. He decided to construct a barrier that would keep the tribes imprisoned in their own desolate lands. But this was no ordinary barrier. It was a marvel of ancient engineering, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The location he chose was a strategic mountain pass nestled amidst towering peaks. Here, the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj were confined, kept away from the rest of the world. Today, the exact location of this barrier remains a subject of debate and speculation among scholars. Some believe it may have been the Durban Pass in the Caucasus region of Russia, while others point to the Great Wall of Gorgan in Iran as a potential candidate. But despite the uncertainty surrounding its exact location, the barrier itself is vividly described in Islamic texts. It was constructed from massive iron plates fused together with molten copper, creating a structure so durable that it merged seamlessly with the natural cliffs. The result was a passageway that could be opened and closed with ease, effectively sealing the fate of the tribes within. But the purpose of this barrier went beyond mere containment. It was also a symbol of order versus chaos, a physical manifestation of the struggle between good and evil that has echoed through human history. By keeping the tribes imprisoned within the desolate lands, Dhul-Qarnayn ensured that the forces of chaos remained at bay, allowing peace and prosperity to flourish in the rest of the world. The enduring mystery: where is the wall? The enduring mystery of the wall's location has sparked centuries of exploration and debate. Some believe it lies in the ruins of the Caspian Gates, a 5th century structure near the Durban Pass in Dagestan, a region in the Caucasus Mountains. The gates, reinforced with iron and designed to regulate trade along the Silk Road, resemble the barrier described in Islamic texts. Another theory points to the Great Wall of Gorgan in Iran, a 121-mile barrier erected in the 6th century BC to defend against nomadic invaders from the north. Its imposing presence along the Alborz mountain range bears witness to a bygone era of conflict and containment. However, many scholars suggest that the wall may hold a symbolic, rather than literal meaning, representing the efforts to maintain order and piety in a chaotic world. The wall's disappearance over the centuries further adds to the enigma, leaving us to ponder whether it truly existed or whether it was an ethereal construct designed to embody the struggle between chaos and order. The eschatological countdown: Yajuj and Maju's return. Islamic eschatology holds that the return of the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj is not just a historical event, but a prophetic certainty. According to authentic hadiths narrated by the Prophet Muhammad, the breaching of the barrier by the tribes is an eschatological countdown, a harbinger of the end of times. When the hordes of Yajuj and Majuj break through the barrier, they unleash a torrent of destruction that engulfs the earth. Their numbers are so vast that they overrun cities, leaving devastation in their wake. But their rampage is not indiscriminate. They target specific regions, causing immense suffering. As they spread chaos, 3 specific groups emerge to challenge them. The first are the people of the book, likely referring to Jewish and Christian communities. The second are the Muslims, and the third is a group known as the Army of Gog and Magog, possibly drawing from biblical imagery. The clash between these forces results in unprecedented carnage, with the likes of which the world has never seen. Entire armies vanish, swallowed by the relentless tide of Yajuj and Majuj. But amidst this chaos, hope persists. According to Islamic eschatology, the ultimate triumph belongs to the righteous. After wreaking havoc across the land, the tribes of Yajuj and Majuj are ultimately destroyed. Their annihilation ushers in a period of renewal and purification, setting the stage for the final events leading up to Judgment Day. In modern times, conspiracy theorists often draw parallels between the predicted tribulations caused by Yajuj and Majuj and contemporary issues such as climate crises, AI rebellions, or even zombie apocalypses. While these connections are speculative, they highlight the enduring impact of this ancient narrative on our collective consciousness. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to show your support. Until next time.